Grayson has a little request before we start this episode.
Can you read this message at the end of next episode for me? There's no excuse for you not to be listening to this podcast. Nobody does anything on Tuesdays. When's the last time you did anything on a Tuesday?
Before lockdown started.
Tuesday.
Yeah, like Tuesday is just Tuesday. It's just a random day in the week. Yeah, it's not as uneventful as Thursdays, but it's definitely like it's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Never mind, you don't have to read that message, but just something I was thinking about.
I didn't have to tell you because Grayson told you himself. Welcome to CDNO. Before we begin, please note that this is a comedy podcast. Our opinions in this episode do not represent our actual views. In accordance with Corona guidelines, this episode was recorded remotely. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Caution Do Not Open podcast. Today, I am joined by Amber.
Hello.
Adam.
I am back.
We have Jackson.
Hi.
And we have Joey.
Why, hello there, everybody.
This episode, we are going to be talking about the best soda and everyone's opinions on that in general. So let's get started. For mine, the best soda is root beer.
Same.
Well, you guys are wrong.
Are we talking American soda or soda from all over?
Soda in general.
Well, if we're talking like American, like brands that people in America would recognize and stuff, I'd say root beer. But if we're going like international, there's this really good soda from Germany. Oh my gosh, it's like mango Coca-Cola or something, and it is amazing. Or orange Coca-Cola, I think it is, something like that.
Well, none of us have been there, so how would we know?
I mean, I've tried it. You can order it online.
Never tried anything out of the U.S., really. Like, soda-wise.
And then
Yeah, that's why I was
me.
asking. Hi.
think
Pepper is
most
the
of
best.
us-
Hi there. I have some feelings.
Amber has some feelings. Hold on.
Ooh. Oh my gosh. Okay, I just don't like soda at all. Like, the carbonation makes me so sick. And people give me so much crap about it. And it's just like, can you not? Thank you.
I think I shall.
Adam,
I mean,
Dr.
everyone
Pepper
has-
is
some people
the best.
don't
your wife is
some
dead.
people-
Shut up.
So is yours.
don't like stuff.
And
It's just like how some people are lactose intolerant. You know,
I'm lactose intolerant, and I drink, and I love cheese,
I
and I
still
love
eat-
milk.
yeah, I still
Amber's
eat
just a
cheese.
coward.
Wait,
but I'm just comparing that with the. I don't know. Trying to compare it to that's like a soda to something else. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Everyone doesn't like certain things. It's just
Oh no, I completely understand that. I just want to say Amber's just in the wrong because I know.
I am.
You've officially ruined Amber, okay?
I just enjoy
From
bullying.
rage
Amber.
quitting
Okay.
from the murder episode to this, you know,
We may be
Okay.
we may be running her too hot. We need to upgrade the cooling system.
That might be a thing we have to do. Okay. That's everyone's expressed their favorite soda except Amber because she just hates soda in general. How about the worst soda?
all of them. Thank you, and
Pepsi.
thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Pepsi. I would have to say
Okay.
Ooh,
Pepsi
And-
and Coca-Cola.
And
those-
why?
What?
I don't know. I just don't like. I don't like the taste of them. It's just.
I'm not gonna lie. I've not yet come across a soda that I don't enjoy.
It's not.
there
that
was
I don't
one, but I
like
can't
it.
remember.
It's just. It's weird.
Okay.
I like
There's-
it less than others.
I don't know. I can't think of one. I know there is one, but I can't think of it.
You were
What about
stuttering
the
earlier over Pepsi and Coca-Cola. Why is
I-
that?
I love both of the brands. Honestly, I like Coca-Cola just on a regular day. You know, you go in the store and you're like, I want to drink something that's not really like. It's kind of just like the go-to where you're just like, oh yeah, Coke exists. I'll take that. And then like Pepsi just brings back the memories of like when I used to go to go to baseball games, and it would be like, oh, overpriced drinks, okay, and you would always just get a Pepsi. It just reminds me of the
Well, if it has a personal
good old
memory,
days.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
What about
Adam,
those weird sodas, like those
Like what?
weird flavored ones, like freaking ranch
Ranch and
flavored,
Bacon.
Oh,
freaking
God.
bacon,
bacon flavored might be good. I haven't tried that.
corn
Ooh, corn?
soda.
Love corn.
There's
Phenol?
grass shaving soda.
Okay, but those, I don't think those are trying to be good. I think we can have those out of the running because
I think they're
their
there
whole
as a
purpose
gag.
is to be, yeah, they're
Weird.
gags and they're supposed to be gags. That's their whole
Yeah.
purpose.
Adam, did you tell us your least favorite soda?
I don't know what my least favorite soda is because I don't think I've come across one.
See, I used to be a really big soda fan and everything, but like it started around like 9th grade. I had to do cross country, so they were like, cut the soda. And I went, I don't want to, but I did. And I've gone back a few times to like try out Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't like the taste of this anymore. I think it's just an acquired taste that I used to have that I've lost. And I'm sure anyone can sympathize with literally any kind of food that they've had to cut out for some reason. And then they try and go back and they're like, oh, this isn't as good as I thought it was.
Everyone has different taste buds.
Let's all just share taste buds.
Huh?
Yeah, just like we
Wait,
all
what
share
did
one
I
brain
just
cell.
hear? Share
Let-
taste
let's
buds.
Let's just interlink all our minds together as one.
Doing
Yes.
a neural network.
Like the evil within.
I
How
thought we
that
already
turned
shared a
out
brain
really
cell.
well.
What are you talking about? We all have one combined brain cell.
Yeah.
Well, instead of combining one brain cell, let's make it into one whole large brain.
Big brain energy.
Have any of you played
My
the evil
small
within?
brain right now.
I haven't played it.
Well, I haven't played it either, but I've seen gameplay of it. It's trippy.
Mm. This was a short episode. Wow.
Well, we can talk about other things
We
like
can-
like
And
favorite
related other drinks.
air to breathe. I like the mountain range.
The
I pre-
mountain air is so
I prefer to use my gills in the ocean.
clean. Whoa, you have that feature? Dude, I didn't get that upgrade.
Dude,
Yeah, Elon
I
Musk
must have
hooked me
missed an
up.
update.
Oh gosh dang.
I missed an
I'm
update.
broke. I can't pay for that DLC. What do you?
It's okay. I didn't
Yes,
get,
we're gamers.
I didn't
Oh,
get
you
that
see, I
DLC.
used the Pirate Bay.
No.
Pirate
Yep, we should always pirate because paying for stuff is expensive.
Adam.
I agree with
Because
pirating.
we're broke college kids. Haha.
I know. At least I don't pirate my stuff. I piggyback off my parents.
And that's why you broke.
I piggyback off my parents. Did you miss?
She's offended by that statement, Adam.
Mhm. She hates it when I pirate.
Yeah, I really do. It always gets on my nerves, but we just roll with it.
Yep.
It's not as bad as autotune though. The awful autotune. I have thoughts about those.
Thoughts about autotune? Tell us.
Oh my goodness. I hate the overly blatant autotune that's not used ironically. We look at the Parasite intro. Adam knows how I feel about this. I gag every time.
She does not like.
I hate it.
Even on one of the new ones that we're watching, there was a auto-tune moment, and she's like, "Oh God, no, please."
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she does not like auto-tune.
It hurts me so much.
Autotune's really that bad
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh my gosh.
Dang.
That is what I call unfortunate. Okay, thoughts about self-driving cars.
Ooh,
Totally down.
love.
Sign me up.
Epic gamer moment
Interesting.
here.
Okay, here's the thing. I've seen plenty of stuff on this. I've been in a class where we've talked about all this already, but yes, they're good, but in what ways are they good? There's also side effects for them, like what happens if someone, if there's an old person in the road, what's it gonna do?
Run it
compared
over.
to like
Stop.
Yeah,
it
I mean,
have-
I see that.
yeah.
I see that, but at the same time, it's kind of like space travel. Like at the beginning, everybody was very cautious and not very sure it was going to work or it was even safe. But as we proved it was getting safer and we could make it safer, people started to get more on board and more accepting of the idea of space travel. I think it'll be the same thing with you self-driving cars. Yeah, right now they're not where they need to be a mass like thing in any country. But
Yeah.
as the technology grows and progresses and stuff, I think it'll become more and more important. And also at the same time, you have to think right now, even if you get in an electric vehicle, you're not helping the environment because you still have to charge that electric vehicle using electricity gained most likely through a natural gas or coal burning power plant.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually trying to make like more eco-friendly power things.
Yeah, they're trying to right now.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. And
Keyword.
exactly, and just the same as improving the safety of the cars and how they drive well on their own. The learning the power part is part of improving the systems to make it more easily accessible to everybody.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Like my thing about it is like if you have a scenario like if I had to choose to do one of these things out of the two, which one would it do? Like if if it has to swerve, if you had to swerve and hit something, would the computer rather hit the child or the old person or something like that?
Oh yeah, there's a game like that.
Yeah, I see that, and I think at the same time, like a human in the split second you have to make that decision is just going to go for it. They're not going to sit there and take 10 seconds to think about it. And I think the computer is the same. Give it figure out which one you have a better chance of avoiding. I think is what it would do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like the one where you may hit. We can't say for sure you won't, but you have a less likely chance of hitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what it comes down to. Because like, if you go with that argument, like if you have to swerve to not hit something like a child in your lane, but you're going to hit a motorcycle in the next lane, because of that, do you swerve into the motorcycle or do you swerve into the barrier on like the highway?
There's a lot of complications with that. I just think, like, not just with hitting people, but there's a lot of other stuff.
I think so too, but I think also like because right now, like let's say you have a Tesla. Right now, Tesla autopilot, auto drive, or whatever it's called, is only on like highways and stuff. So like it may be a thing where you're not allowed to use it in city streets. And then it's the type of thing if that person's standing in the middle of the highway in the lane of traffic, they're an idiot anyway.
Do you think AI will in the future get to the point where self-driving cars just become a normalcy for our society?
Oh, definitely.
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'll be the same thing as like just everybody having a car in general. It used to be only the rich and the famous and the people who could afford it would have the cars. And now it's like if you don't have a car, it's kind of like, why don't you have a car? You can literally go on the internet and get one for like $500.
Because I'm
That's true.
broke. Those college deposits hurt me.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like if you're not in college and you have a full-time job and you're with a salary and stuff, and you don't at least lease a car, it's like, what are you doing with your life?
At this point, yeah, because it's just become such a normalcy to have a car.
Exactly, and that's how I think it'll be with self-driving AI powered cars. And like nowadays, not everybody will have one because not everybody will need one. Like Amber said, you could be walking to work and walking to the store. You don't need a car. Why would I have one?
That's what I'm gonna be doing
if I'm
in
only
college.
going, yeah, exactly. Like most people, they don't live right next walkable distance from their work and a walkable distance from a store and stuff. So a car is a necessary thing.
But see, another thing with that, as technology increases, develops, so does ways of hacking it. Like if you put AI into cars, what happens if there's a mass hacking and that or whatever? Someone hacks the car.
See, that's what I think most people are worried about right now. It's not necessarily the AI part of it, but the what would happen if there's a security breach.
But I mean, I think it's the same thing as what would happen if there was a security breach in the U.S.'s like entire infrastructure. You know, power, water, gas. The entire economy would shut down. You couldn't fill up your car at the gas station because they're all internet connected and powered and need gas to flow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's the same threat. You know.
It's
Yeah,
some of
exactly.
those risks that you just take as it comes along.
Exactly. Like having an email account is a risk because you will end up having some personal private stuff go through it, and there's a risk that it'll get hacked and that info will get stolen.
Mhm.
But the majority of people still have an email because it is more convenient than using the postal service.
Very complicated.
It is.
Yeah.
This is a very complicated topic.
It went from soda
Yeah.
to this.
I mean, and if you want to take it even further, most people have smartphones, but a flip phone is more secure. So if people are concerned about security, why not have a $50 flip phone instead of a $1,000 smartphone?
Because people like to have the new
Because
technology.
convenience.
Convenience and
Because everyone
yeah,
wants to have the
convenience,
same
exactly.
thing. Everyone wants to have the newest thing. Oh my god, look at the new iPhone. Oh my god.
I mean, you're not
See, I always
wrong.
prefer the like 10-year-old iPhones.
I don't care for iPhone. I have Android.
I mean, the smartphone that I have right now is an Android that I've had since my freshman year of high school, and it
The
still
one
works
I have
just
is-
fine.
Yeah. The one I have is quite old as well, and it still works just as fine.
See,
Just
I
Yeah,
had
and I got mine old too, so
I had
Yeah.
one that was like 2 or 3 years old. It was a Galaxy S8, but I just barely switched carriers, and so they allowed me to upgrade. So I did.
And for me, like I had a like a 4 or 5-year-old iPhone, but when I broke it, I had to get a new one, and I had enough money saved up to get a newer iPhone, so I did. You know, but I paid
Yeah.
for it myself, but I had saved for it.
Save, yeah. It's
And I'm planning on pushing this until it literally just doesn't work anymore. You know, I'm not trying to go out and
Same.
spend $1,500 like next year on a new phone when I got a phone last year. You know, this phone still runs
Yeah.
fine. Let me keep using it. The only reason I got my new phone is because I literally couldn't use my old phone. Like it couldn't be repaired.
The only reason I got a second phone, because the first phone that I have, you couldn't get service. You couldn't put service on it. You couldn't call anybody. So my mom went and got me another phone that I could at least call people with, because the other one was just way too old.
I was gonna say, I remember when I got the first like technical smartphone, because it didn't have like any service or anything. All it was just a device.
See, that's what mine was.
Color.
Mine was
all I
remember
did
my
was
first
coloring
phone.
it.
My first actual phone was a Samsung with the push-out keyboard. Then the phone I got after that was the iPhone
Same.
6.
Yeah, my first phone, I was in 8th grade, and it was a slider phone, and like I used that thing to death. But what happened was I spent a summer with my grandparents in Canada, and I got grounded for whatever reason, and my grandmother misplaced this phone. So when I got back to the States, we had to get another phone, and I had a job by that point, and I paid for my own phone, which was this $200 old Samsung that I still use.
And the first phone I ever had was a smartphone, but the only reason I got it is it was halfway through my freshman year of high school, and my parents were planning on sending me off to boarding school, so I needed a phone, and they just got me a smartphone, and it was an iPhone 5, or something, and I had it all the way up until I broke it last year.
Yeah.
Actually, it might have been an
I would
iPhone
say.
6. It might have been an iPhone 6, but it wasn't anything fancy, you know. It was still pretty old.
Yeah, the phone I had before this one, the one that I said couldn't get service, I had that one for a few years, but it got ruined, literally ruined. when me and all my family, we went down to Florida because it was my step-great-grandma's 100th birthday. We went down to Florida, and the reason it got ruined is because we went to the beach, I had my swim trunks on, and I did not notice I put my phone in one of my little pockets, and I went into the water. The entire time I was messing around in the water, I did not remember it was in there until it was almost time to leave. I put my hand right around that area, like, oh no.
The same thing kind of happened to me. So yeah, my first phone, it was my dad's old phone, and so it did have a touch screen, I think, but it had one of those you'd push on it and reveal the keyboard, the slider things.
Ooh.
But
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah, and me, my mom, and a couple of siblings, we went out to this resort, and at the end of it, we all decided, hey, let's go for a swim. And I put my phone in my trunks, just like you, Joey.
Mhm.
And I ran, and I couldn't stop myself. I jumped, and I felt something like on the left side of my pocket be like a little lighter, and I'm like, oh
Mhm.
no! I splashed right into the pool. Hurried up, got out, took my phone out, and I looked at my niece, and she's like, oh, you messed up. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And
Well,
I tried to get it to work.
Yours isn't nearly as bad. I had mine in my pocket for 20 or 10 or 20 minutes without even
Yeah.
noticing. And what's even worse, it was salt water. So
Right.
Oof.
there was no saving that phone.
I never had an experience with my phone going in water. It was mainly watches is what I would do. Because when I was a kid, I was like, I love watches. I want to watch. I mean, I still do. I have one. The strap broke and I haven't replaced it yet. But actually, though, too, with this phone, it is kind of cracked pretty badly. But that was from when I was a sophomore and I was getting my lunch and I was just scrolling memes on my phone. Probably Reddit because I'm a gamer, and some freshmen were messing around in front of me, and they threw a book at their friend, but it missed and hit my hand instead. Had my phone flying across the floor, and it cracked my screen and my case.
Oh, good
And
lord.
Ooh.
they looked at my phone and was like, "Oh, it's just a scratch. You're fine," and then walked off. And I was just like, "Bro."
Well, I was
Wow.
freaked out recently because I was with a coworker and he had I think it was an iPhone 8 Plus is what it was. And anyway, someone knocked it off the table on accident. And I went to pick it up off the floor, to get it off the floor. And literally his screen comes off the rest of the body.
Oh, good lord.
And I just went, uh-oh. But it still worked. So I just set it there. And I was like, hey, so someone knocked your phone off. I picked it up and your screen came unattached. And he's like, oh, yeah, it's been like that for a year. I'm just like, oh, okay.
You should fear that man. That man has nothing
Yeah.
to lose.
I was scared.
I actually have a story somewhat similar. So I have a friend who's been lifeguarding at the Y for 8 years. And he has an iPhone 6, and his entire bottom third quarter of the screen just gone. The home button, everything just gone on his screen, and he just keeps using it and doesn't get his screen fixed.
How does it work? What?
That is a man you should fear.
Yeah, seriously, he has that accessibility thing where you can put all the different things on. Yeah, he has that, so that way he doesn't even need the fingerprint or anything on his phone, so he can literally use his entire phone
Goodness.
with just a quarter of the screen
I
gone.
fear that man.
He's terrifying. He's absolutely terrifying, but also the coolest dude ever.
Speaking of cool dudes, because my brain's all over the place. Hi, ADHD
Hi.
brain here. Nice to meet you. No, elementary school, you're the cool kid. We're having the big box of crayons. But then, like, middle school, you were the cool kid for having the iPhone. Like,
See, when I was in school, I was never the cool
Yeah.
kid because I didn't care.
I was never
Middle
the cool
school,
kid.
if you have an iPhone,
I
you're a
couldn't
cool
talk to
kid.
anybody.
Same. I
See-
wasn't the cool kid because I just didn't give back.
I had like 3 people I talked to, but other than that, I really didn't care. I'm like, whatever, I'm at school. I don't care about your social status.
For me, it was the type of thing where it's like I went to 5 different high schools over the course of 4 years. Not to mention I went to kindergarten, then I changed schools to another school, then I changed schools to another school, and then I went to a school where I started high school at, but also did 7th and 8th grade at. So I never really had time to like make friends. So every time I changed schools, I just stopped talking to people that I thought I was friends with. So at that, eventually I was just like, screw it, I'm just not going to have friends because I don't ever keep friends.
Wow, that's a sad story.
I really don't care. I liked it. Nobody bothered me when I was learning how to program and code and do codey and nerdy stuff.
Oh, okay.
I had to counter like that.
I've moved quite
through
a few
my-
places as well, but the town I live in now is where I've been the most. Where I've lived the longest, I guess you would say. So
Oh, okay.
I have a few friends here, so not bad.
And then I've already been to 2
And then-
post-high school educational institutions, so Newmont's my 3rd.
Whoa, look at this guy.
Well, I quit the previous 2.
Oh, you're like, I hate this. I'm out of here.
Well, the first one was at the beginning of last school year. I went to college, didn't even manage to make it 31 days, left after 28. Then I went to trade school, was doing trade school until lockdown started. Then when lockdown started, quit trade school and applied to Newmont.
I mean,
for me,
my thing was like, I applied for Newmont last year. I was accepted and everything. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go on an LDS mission first. And I was like, can I do deferment? They're like, no. And I'm like, okay, then just cancel my acceptance and stuff like that. And I expected to be gone, the full 2 years because I left in November. I come back in March because of an ankle injury that required medical attention, and COVID kind of helped with that. And I just was like, you know what? I'm not going back out. And that's when I was like, hey, Newmont. And they're like, yeah, what you want? I'm like, can I come back? And they're like, go for it. And now I'm here, ready to go to college.
And you see, the thing is, like, some people, like, I've told some people, like, that I'm going back to college, and they're like, you're crazy. You literally dropped out of college last time after a month. And I'm like, yeah, and I think I needed that experience because at that point, I was just going to college because all of the rest of my family has gone to college. I didn't realize how much I needed college. So that experience and doing trade school and trying to look for internships and jobs that would hire me with just certifications really showed me I need the education. So now it's for myself.
I mean,
And I'd always planned on going to college. I just never knew where I was going to go.
Yeah, that's kind of the same for me too. And I didn't even know what I wanted to be until like a year and a half ago. So
I kind of had a plan when I graduated high school. My plan was to go join the Marines and then go to college.
Well, my plan was to join like the Air Force and the Navy and go into their one of their cybersecurity or computer programs, and then use that experience to get a civilian job.
Yeah, that's what I was planning on doing as well. I was going to have I was originally thinking the Marines, but now I'm like, hey, could I hit up the National Guard and do that? But either way, I'm like, I could go do a military something or other, have them pay for my education, and then get a civilian job because I don't want to make the military my career. I mean, some people do, and don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with making your career in the military.
No, I applaud the people who do it. I applaud them. Like, good for them. It's just not for me.
Yeah, I'm just like, that's a thing that I don't.
military. Oh boy, do I have a story about them. So, beginning of my senior year, like this was like right before it started, I get a call and it's like, hey, I'm the military, whatever, trying to get a recruiter. That's the word. And he was like, and I told him, hey, I have way too many medical conditions to even think about it. So no, thank you. And he's like, I'm sure we could get it to work, blah, blah, blah. And he kept talking to me, and it's just like, here, let's get you in for an appointment. I'm like, whatever. They'll see me and be like, okay, because during that time I had 2 ankle braces on and a knee brace, as well as my wrist brace, because I just came back from a camp that I through my body. And then he's like, oh, what's your height and weight? And I tell him, and he's like, actually, we can't take you. Sorry, bye, and hangs up. And it's just like, I've been telling you this for the past 10 minutes. Thank you. Can you not?
Yeah.
Wow.
I have a story that happened not to me but to my friend. So she was going around like to colleges, and she went to like this one college that had like an ROTC program, and she's like, you would not believe the cute boy I saw. And I'm like, tell me all about it, sister. And
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so the reason I responded with that is like I've had my little group of friends since like 5th grade, and it has been as following: me, a girl named Annabelle, a girl named Grace, a girl named Catherine, and a guy named Angelo. We're the bestest of friends, and it's awesome. But
Wow.
I grew up around women, and so I am like that. And so I'm just like, tell me all
Why are
about
you
it.
so
Spill
rude
the
to me
beans.
then? What?
That's what I'm
Because-
like as well. And a lot of
I'm like that
people
woman.
think gay because of it.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, people thought I was gay though too, being like, "Oh, I'm always trying," or thought I was just like was like a player or something in middle school because all my best friends are guys because I was in anime and video games. Like they were very rude, and I would never go back to middle school. Thank you.
Yes.
I
But-
don't think my parents still like truly like believe that I'm bi. I don't think so.
Well, coming out like that, it's kind of like a big shock to people. So it's
Yeah, but I told them like back freshman year.
oh
I really
Anyway,
don't care
you're
though.
sorry.
They can think whatever they want. Doesn't matter to me. It's my life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like it's my life,
It's
my
my
thing.
life.
I'll do what I
It's
want.
now
with
or
it.
never.
Because I do have a friend that I met at an anime convention. He is pan. He's pretty cool. He's pansexual.
There's a kid at the Y that I work at, and like he owns the fact that he is gay. He accepts and he just announces to the world always. And I think it's the greatest thing ever. I always enjoy being around him because he's just always so positive.
See, I love people like that. Like, honestly, in my opinion, it doesn't matter if you're bi, straight, whatever your sexuality may be. If you're a nice person and you're fun to hang around, I'm going to hang around you and be your friend.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't care about anything. You could be a reformed murderer if you're a cool dude. You're doing stuff. You're nice and friendly. I really don't care. I might question it to begin with, but at the end of the day, if you're not doing anything bad, why
do I
punish
care?
you when you've already? Yeah, why do I care? That was a mistake. We've all made mistakes. That was just a pretty bad one.
And that's us as humans. We make errors and then we're like, well, crap, that was a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather know somebody made a mistake and know that they learned from that mistake than not know that somebody made a mistake and they not have learned from them.
It's been going on for a while.
yeah.
This has.
So how you gonna split this up?
Yeah.
I don't know yet. That'll be something future editing me decides at some point when I get around to
You
editing.
could just call this one the rambling one.
Rambling
The
part
mega
one.
ramble.
Yeah.
I'll just call it Rambling Part 1 because there's 100% going to be Part 2, Part 3, Part 4 later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like
You shouldn't name it parts. You should do Roman numerals.
Oh, whoa, that's fancy. Ooh.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
That being said, thank you guys for joining me on this episode of the podcast. Once again, we had Adam.
Me.
We had Amber.
I'm better than Adam.
That's
We had-
incorrect.
They're going to fight after this, so let's do this quick. We have Jackson.
I'm better than Amber and Adam combined.
All right, we're
Okay.
fighting.
Yeah. All right there, bud.
And we had Joey.
I'm better than all y'all.
Okay,
We
no,
love
we're
fight.
gonna fight now.
But thank you guys so much for joining me on the episode, and thank you so much for listening to this disastrous mess. And as always, we will see you in the next episode. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.
Senorita.